Namaste, all of you. Here, your management coach, Dr. Sandhya Srivastava. Today, we are going to discuss about on the topic Companies Act 1956. It is being correlated with the legal aspects of business, which we have already discussed about unit first, in which we have discussed about the contract, agreement, promise, offers, and acceptance. But today we are going to discuss. We will do a discussion on the Companies Act, in which we will start with certain important points that what exactly company is, what is the legal format of a company, how a company is going to be formed, what are the certain legal formalities is being going to be required to form a company, what are the nature of a company means, what are the circumstances and what kind of environment, construction, and the legal formalities aspects are being correlated with the companies. What are the certain types of companies of private and public company? Let's we will discuss about the difference between private and public company also. What are the privileges of private company over public companies and others? Then we will discuss about the doctrine of constructive notice. Constructive notice means we will discuss about some legal terms. It's in legal terminology which is being correlated that why the individual is supposed to be look after, that what kind of certain eligibility and the requirements are required to known as a company, and what is the meaning of prospectus, what is memorandum of association, and what is article of association, right? So we and these are the certain points, and we will discuss on these important points which is going to be related with the Companies Law Act 1956. Yes, what is company is? So we will think about, and we have a certain sections under the Companies Act 1956, in which we have a certain prospects that two or more individuals combined together and they formed some legal formalities as per the requirement of a government. And we can say in the business environment also we have studied about a particular topic, industrial development and new industrial policies. So there would be, but in this we are going to study about what are the certain legal formalities are going to be required and what company is. So it's an association of persons when two or more persons combine together. Combine means related with the monetary terms, related with their intention to do something new for the business, for the maximization of profit, and have some intention to do something. So that particular things are known as the companies, right? So a company formed and registered under this act. Whenever the group of the peoples or the people, those who are being required their physical existence and the legal acceptance, so they have to form their company under the Companies Act 1956. So there would be existing company or the new company, so they have to follow the rules and regulations along with it. Incorporated association, which is an artificial legal persons having a separate legal entity. What is the meaning of separate legal entity over here? So that we will discuss. Separate legal entity means company is not a individual. We cannot, it's invisible, we cannot touch him, right? So but it have a legal identity themselves, we cannot feel them. But a company can do a case on an individual, and a individual can do a case on a company. So it don't have a physical appearance, but the people those who are going to be work in an organization or in a company are supposed to look after the same, and they are called to be as the company as a separate legal identity. So it's an artificial legal person, it's not been physically in existence, but it is in existence though with a perpetual succession. I just want to give you one example for it. Means it's in particularly known as the related with the shoe. that shoe is available, and anyone who feel that their leg and means comfortable feeling and take the utilization of that particular shoe. So that would be the perpetual succession. A common seal means a company organization have their individual identity on the basis, so they have their common seal. Either it would be in the form of stamp, letterhead, trademark, copyright, like this. A common capital comprised of transferable shares. What is the meaning of shares? We have already studied in the means in the accounting that the share is in particular, we can say it's an issue of means when an organization want to invest in the market, so definitely they require the money from the people, so that it would be a kind of investment and invite applications for it, right? So after that we have a carrying limited liability. Limited liability means karzdari liability. We have certain responsibilities, so it would be related with the carrying limited liability. What is the nature of company? When we talk about an individual, when we have a small sister in a house, or either the nature of a father, mother, so like this, a company individual have their own nature. So what kind of nature company have? Separate legal entity, artificial person, perpetual existence, common seal, limited liability, capacity to sue or to be sued, transferability of share. So these are the certain points which I already been discussed, but supposed to be moreover I just want to discuss that separate legal entity means it's not in particular individual is not the is not the responsible person over here. Is organization or the company have their individual physical appearance, and those who want to continue their work or they have their existence in the society itself. It's an artificial person because it act as a person. It act as a person, though it don't have a physical appearance, but it act as a person. Perpetual existence, I told you that the people those who are associated with an organization, they have their perpetual existence, and the people may come and go, but the shoe remain same. The common scene is being related with the stamps, the assets of an organization, which is being officially, we can say officially papers or the stamps of an organization. For example, we can take the stamp and the letterhead of the organization, the digital signatures of the people those who are being associated with an organization. Afterwards, we have a limited liability. Limited liability means the person those who are being associated with an organization, they are supposed to give them and do look after their liability also. Capacity to sue or to be sued. I had already given you example. The person individually, if they are not satisfied with an organization, they can do a court case, or they can go for the consumer forum, or whatever they want to do. They can, because an company is being worked as an individual person. So capacity to sue or to be sued. Transferability of share, it depends. If a person will sell out their share, if we want to invite the shares, we can do it. So these are the certain 7 natures of a company. Individually, I explained it. Right. Now we'll come to the point of types of companies. Types of companies registered under Company Act 1956. It is being that incorporated company, liability, number of members, control and ownership company. Incorporated organizations are being related with chartered companies, statutory company and registered. Liability companies have limited liability and unlimited liability. Number of members on the basis of these quality. Private and public company. On the basis of control, it's holding company and subsidiary. On the basis of ownership, government or non-government companies. So these are the certain characteristics: incorporated, liability, number of members, control and ownership, and on the basis of these characteristics we can go ahead with the types of companies. Afterward, we have a private and public company. Private company, those who are not public. What does it mean? It means an individual person, though two or more persons are combined together and they formed an organization with certain registration of the under the Companies Act. They have their own by its article of association and restricts the right to transfer its shares. They have limits the maximum number of its member 50, prohibits any invitation to the public or any share or debenture of the company, and it is not being being registered under the Public Act, and they are not the non-government organizations, right? So they are public and the private, and the public companies reciprocate to it, means a company which is not a private company. In other words, a public company means a company which by its article does not limit the number of its member, whereas we will see whereas restricts the right to transfer its shares and limits the maximum number of its to 50, and here it's not like that. So these are the certain differences also in it. Public, we can talk about, we will take an example of it. Private organization, HCL, HUL, and Infosys, and there are others, means when you go at Accenture, means the other, all these are the private organization. We'll talk about the public companies. We'll talk about our municipal corporation of our country, and the secretariat of a company, administrative services of those who be related with it. So they have their own manufacturing unit also, and they are registered under the Public Company Act. And we will also see the railways corporations. They have their individuals to where they can make their own supplies and raw material to make it convert also. So these are the public companies. So I had also given the private and public company differentiate. Minimum paid up capital, minimum number of members, maximum number of members we have already studied, minimum number of directors, whereas private company 2, public 3. Minimum paid up capital is 1 lakh in private, public 5 lakh. Minimum number of members 2 and 7. Transfer of shares restricted to AOA. AOA means here the article of association. So we will discuss about it, article of association also. So these are the certain points: public subscription, acceptance of public deposits, commencement of business, issue of prospectus. These are the certain characteristics on the basis of which we have differentiate private company and the public company. Afterwards, we have a doctrine of constructive notice. Constructive notice means the individual, those who are being looking after the organization, it's important that they have to understand why the company has been formed. It seeks to protect the company against the outsider. What was treated as having the knowledge of the contents of the memorandum. All contracts made by the company for an ultra-vires purpose are void and cannot be ratified by the validated by any kind of resolution passed by the general meeting of the company or even the unanimous consent of its members. So this is known to be as the doctrine of constructive notice. So everyone have to make it for it. What is the prospectus? What is prospectus? When we will go somewhere, we will see the prospectus of an organization. When we will go to the college, we will definitely ask an organization or company or a college that before taking admission, we are interested to see a prospectus. When we see some products, we will definitely go through it's a legal document of an organization with a full proof of the back dates, the growth, the development, paid up capital in an organization. What is the motive of an organization, objective, vision of an organization, notice, circular, advertisement, inviting deposits or offers from the public for their subscription to purchasing any share. So it's we can say a legal document of a company to invite the shares from a public. What is memorandum of association? Memorandum of association, have you studied about the what is the difference between administration and management? So that would be correlated with this memorandum of association and article of association. The first step in the formation of a company is to prepare memorandum of association. Why the company is going to be formed, what is the objective, what is the mission, what is the mission, what are the goals, and what would be the investment in it, and what are the benefits we are going to be finding out with the shareholders, creditors, and this. So these are the certain rules, regulations in a prescribed form, that what a company character is and what are the limitations of the power of a company. So all these things are maintained in a memorandum of association of a company. And importance of memorandum of association is it defines the rights and liabilities of the members. It shows the capital structure of a company. It shows the object of the company. It specifies the state in which the registered office of the company is situated. It shows the constitution of a company, why the company is being formed, in what character it will work out, what are the specific areas, what kind of benefits is going to be provided to the society. These are the certain points which is importance of memorandum of association. Other point is article of association. Article of association is being related that what an organization is going to be do for the future purpose. What does it mean? It means who will be the director, what are the requirements of a director, and what are the things a director can do, what are the management committee, how the accounts, the audit, and what are the functioning areas. It is being related with the functions of an organization as regards as the management of its company. So it would be article of association, whereas in the memorandum of association it would be related with the company which is going to be shown to the government before forming a organization. It is a first step of an company to form an as being company. And article of association, how the organization, how the company or the organization being run. So what are the things which is required, what are the disciplinary areas, what are the directors, the powers, the authority, what things are for the auditors, what are the regulations for the accounts. So these are the certain things which is going to be mentioned for the article of association, and for the future, and we can say for the running purpose, means the smooth functioning of a company. This is the article of association. And earlier we have already studied about the memorandum of association. These are the contents of article of association: rights of different classes of shareholder, use of common seal of the company, where we have to use a company, where can common seal can be used, what are the appointment procedure, powers, duties, authorities, and salary of managing director, manager, and secretary, borrowing power of directors, voting rights of members, board meetings and proceedings, winding up a company. So these are the important for which is going to be required for the functioning of a companies are mentions in the contents of article of association. So we have cleared out all the parts related with the Companies Act 1956. Apart from it, if you have any query, any doubt, please comment me. Definitely I will give you the answer for it. Thank you so much.